What's going on, guys? This is the Experienced Optimist. And today I want to talk about the American Dream Trap. I was just thinking this morning and an idea came to me. This idea was how in America there seems to be a trap formulated around the idea that the American dream is a realistic pursuit. Now, this is just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. But I think the idealistic notion of the American dream is a trap for many people, and men especially. There is a quote that states, "Amongst the first lies that adults teach children is that life is a golden dream where anything is possible." A child is initiated into the concept of the American dream, which suggested that all Americans can look forward to an easy life of prosperity, free from doubt and worry, and exempt from heartache and tragedy. Perhaps one of the greatest errors of a parent is to introduce children to the world of fairy tales, wizardry, and the power of dreams. Perhaps we might be of greater service by telling children the truth about life. Life hurts. Living requires enduring pain, loss, and sacrifice. Now, today I wanted to break down the American dream trap and why I believe so many of us are unhappy chasing this so-called American dream. Number one, the myth that all you have to do is work hard. This is the first myth that is bandied about when being introduced to the American dream trap. Nevertheless, taking this notion to heart, people set out to take out huge loans to finance an education, unaware that this keeps them indebted as a corporate wage slave. Don't get me wrong, I believe in hard work, but I believe that people should work towards noble pursuits that enrich themselves and thus by default enrich society around them. For example, when I spoke to MGTOW Universe recently, he informed me that he will be relearning the various methods of mathematics, starting from the rudimentary and advancing thereafter. He also mentioned that he enjoys learning computer programming languages. Therefore, it is understood that strengthening these skills will make him more productive and useful. However, what I see most people doing in American society is working hard for essentially no cause of their own, caught in a ruse that endeavors to keep them satiated only until they are no longer valuable to a system of exploitation. Howard Zinn stated, "I've always resented the smug statements of politicians, media commentators, corporate executives who talked of how in America, if you worked hard, you would become rich. The meaning of that was if you were poor, it was because you hadn't worked hard enough. I knew, I knew this was a lie about my father and millions of others, men and women who worked harder than anyone, harder than financiers and politicians, harder than anybody if you accept that when you work at an unpleasant job, that makes it very hard work indeed." Number two, The second stage of the American dream trap is the one that I find the most egregious. After many identify that hard work will not lead them to the trappings of success promised by the American dream, wage slaves are then promised happiness and contentment by purchasing all sorts of nonsense you do not need. But it does not stop there. Wage slaves are also encouraged to interact with fake people who pretend to like you, but would cut your throat if it meant they could be viewed as more worthy. This ultra competitiveness for no reason in American culture is what drives a wedge between people and leads to divisiveness, hate, and contempt. This leads to my third point. Once Americans determine that working hard does not deliver on the American dream, nor does consumerism, materialism, and amassing an army of false friends, they fall for the notion that looking down on others will make them feel better about themselves and convince them that the promised American dream is just around the corner. What I mean by this is that there seems to be a covert contract stating that the American dream is akin to you thinking yourself better than all other people, especially those that do not indulge in rampant consumerism. If they do not live in a certain size house in a particular neighborhood, then they are not worthy of the American dream. And this goes the same for cars, shoes, and the ability to entertain the most vapid of friends and acquaintances. It is as if to say to Americans, sure, you may not have the freedom, serenity, and happiness that was promised by the American dream, but at least you're doing better than that poor sap over there. This is why I believe looking down on others has become synonymous with the American dream, and why I find that Americans seem not to be able to form deep, sustaining relationships with one another. If you watch an old video from Soundgarden called Black Hole Sun, in the video you will see inhabitants of a neighborhood with overly dramatic smile expressions and wide, bug-eyed gazing. To me, this illustrates what Americans are today. A group of people forever trying to appear happy on the outside while hoping that everyone around them fails to achieve any form of success. Devoid of empathy and compassion. Such people are forever searching for the peace of mind that they will never receive. But this is the American dream to them. Saul D. Alinsky said, "The great American dream that reached out to the stars has become lost to the stripes. We have forgotten where we came from. We don't know where we are, and we fear where we may be going. Afraid, we turn from the glorious adventure of the pursuit of happiness to the pursuit of the illusionary security in an ordered, stratified, striped society. Our way of life is symbolized to the world by the stripes of military force. At home, we have made a mockery of being our brother's keeper by being his jail keeper. When Americans can no longer see the stars, the times are tragic. We must believe that it is the darkness before the dawn of a beautiful new world. We will see it when we believe it. But if you like this video, give a like, thumbs up, support other MGTOW channels, and I will talk to you later.